body's been at rest and you're like, God, I do not want to start. And then you start and you're in that workout on Monday and you're like, this is exactly why I didn't want to start. This is painful. This does not feel good. Those people that say runner's high and working out feels good, they're crazy. I don't like this at all. And but you show up again and you work out a couple days and it hurts. It hurts the next day. It hurts the day after. And you're like, this really sucks. This is why I didn't want to work out. And then you do a second week and it still hurts. But what I've noticed is it takes me 3 rotations, week 1, week 2, and by the third week, it's not necessarily fun yet, but it's acceptable. I can handle it. By the 4th or 5th week, then it starts to get fun. Then you start waking up going, I can't wait to get my ass to the gym and work out. It's literally the opposite. Instead of it's the worst thing in the world in your mind, you actually wake up and your brain immediately kicks in different chemicals because you're thinking about how you're going to feel and you're thinking about how your body's changing and you're thinking about how you're going to look, and it starts releasing chemicals, serotonin and endorphins, etc. You're like, shit, let's go. I can't wait to get to the gym. This business is the exact same way. You have to start no matter how painful it is, no matter how heavy the phone is. And by the way, it's just like the gym where if you've taken 2 weeks off, you have to, or 3 weeks off, you have to restart at 0, right? You got to start back over. That's bottom line. That's how it works. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. And you have to get in motion. And if you're in motion, bravo, stay in motion. Double down, triple down with your activity model, because it only gets easier, it only gets simpler, and it only gets more fun as you put more work in. And all I can encourage you guys to do is, if you're putting work in, put in more, because you'll start to associate pleasure with it as opposed to pain. If you're in that painful part right now, I know it's gonna not feel good. And it's gonna not feel good for a couple of weeks. Then you're gonna start looking forward to it. And if you haven't started at all, you have to throw your ass in the gym and just do it. Just get the body moving, get the fingers dialing, get the conversations going. Rejection is like those repetitions, right? You're like, oh, this is miserable, right? Rejection is like whatever piece of equipment that you hate the most. I hate leg day. I try to skip leg day as many days as I can. I try to skip it. I try to skip as much cardio as I can. Like, oh, cardio? No, thank you. I'm skipping that year. So whatever that thing is, that piece of equipment that you associate the most pain to, stretching. Oh, nothing's worse than stretching. What is more boring and more painful than stretching, right? So that's for me. I try to avoid those things as much as I can. But I know I have to do it. That's what you have to do right now. If you haven't been putting the time in, you haven't been putting the repetitions in, you have to face it. You have to start, get the thing going, get it moving. If you've taken a week off or a month off, you got to re-engage and you got to get going. And by the way, I don't care if you've been with us 4 months and you haven't started yet. If you want to start today, right? Everybody's welcome. If you just want to plug in and be involved and you like the energy and you like the intensity of what's happening and you like the ketones, but you don't want to do the work, that's fine. You're more than welcome just to keep showing up. But if you're looking for somebody to push you off the end of the diving board, this is me with a foot to your ass, kicking you off the edge of the diving board, and that cold water. It's no fun, but once you get in and you get used to it, right? So I had asked the guys earlier, Steve and Ange, about what they're plugging me into the upcoming days, and there were some hesitations of, well, we don't really have a ton on the calendar, and I want you guys to understand it's not Steve and Angie's job to fill your calendar. It's your job to fill your calendar. And here's to me how this works. You start with a goal. What's your goal? At 5 months from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, what do you want to be earning with this business? Is it $3,000 a month? Is it $1,000 a month? Is it $500 a month of free ketones? What is your goal? Okay, now, in order to get to that goal, you have to have customers and promoters that are enrolling. Okay, that makes sense. That's pretty simple math. Well, how do I get to that? How do I get that to happen? I have to be presenting. Okay, well, then do I just start talking to people and then schedule the presentation? No, that's not how it works. You schedule the presentation and then you go talk to people. To me, this what we do is so simple. If there's not any presentations booked, then the people aren't working. That's the math. because the presentation is the commitment, right? So if you're not willing to commit to putting a presentation on the books, it's not for me. Like, you're not putting a presentation on the books for me. You're not putting a presentation on the books for Steve and Ange. You're putting a presentation on the books for you, because you have a goal. My goal is blank. Okay, great. We need to get some people in front of the information. When's your presentation? Whatever you want to call the presentation, you want to call it a conversation, you want to call it a Zoom, you want to call it I don't care, whatever word you want to call it, a party, you want to call it a jabberjaws, I don't know, whatever cute thing you want to call your presentation. You guys have to have a presentation. Well, I don't like the slides. Then don't use the slides. Well, I want to change that slide. Then change that slide. I don't care. Bottom line is, if there's nothing in your calendar that we're going to share information about what we do to other people, you're not doing this business. And I hope that's not too direct, because I prefaced it by saying it's completely okay if you don't want to do any presentations, as long as you're accepting the fact that a goal for you will not be achieved until there's a constant flow of conversations and presentations. So I want all of you guys who are willing, that are like, okay, I'm going to go body in motion stays in motion, body rest stays at rest. I'm going to go get my body in motion. Schedule a presentation this week. Who cares what happens? Some of you guys are so worried about the result that you don't make the first step, which is just to schedule it. Don't worry about the result. Don't worry about who's going to show up. Don't worry about who's going to sign up. Don't worry about any of that. Put it in the calendar. That's the first commitment. Then work backwards. Oh shit, I put it in the calendar. I should probably talk to some people. Yes, that's exactly how the process works. I have a goal. I'm going to do a presentation or a conversation or a no slide or a slide or a Zoom or a Facebook Live or whatever the hell you want to call it. We're going to talk to some people about what we're doing. I call them presentations. And I've got to then start inviting people. Yes, you have to start inviting people. I recommend that you guys invite people via the way that we're starting to do this, with three-way introduction to Steve and Ange or Kylie, whoever you're working with out of the gates. You know, and unless you're already having success, you wouldn't need them. You wouldn't need them on board to do that. But if you're resistant to talking to people because you're afraid of rejection or you don't know what to say, then involve your leader in the conversations right now. Go send 10 messages with Steve or Ange in the message, and let them start engaging with you and answering questions with you, and let them invite to your presentation for you. So what I like about what we do is this is not rocket science. The ketones are actually rocket science. Like, there's some rocket science behind this stuff. What we do is so damn simple, and it's so easy to measure. Like, there's never been anything more measurable than our industry. It's like, did you talk to some people? No. Okay, well, you're not doing what we do. Well, I posted something. Well, that's cute. I mean, it's nice that you posted something. And maybe one day, someday, somebody might send you a message saying, I've seen your 4,000 posts. Thank you for doing that. I'd like to know more. But I wouldn't bet your business on that, right? You can't bet your business on the fact that you posted something. Do you guys know how algorithms work? Facebook algorithms, they limit you to the same 7 people seeing your stuff. So every time you post it, unless you're a talented social media marketer and you know how to engage the algorithm, you know, okay, I got to go start poking people, liking people's messages. I got to go comment on 20 people's posts that I haven't talked to in 6 months to get them to see my posts. Otherwise, I'm never going to see them. There's more to it than I've been posting, so I should get rich. That's never, ever, ever going to happen. Posting is your air support. Posting is your air support. That's all. But it's not going to do the work for you. You've got to go engage people. You got to go have the conversations. You got to do the inviting. And you can even actually have Steve and Ange do it, and Kylie do the inviting with you. Just add them in your messages. I don't know how much easier to make this. I'll happily log on to any presentation you guys want me to. If you guys will go do the work and get the word out there, and you want to schedule a presentation, put it in my calendar. I'll be there. I don't care if there's 2 people there. I'll be there. And we might not get any of them, but who cares? At least we're in motion. And a body in motion stays in motion. Body at rest stays at rest. Guys, activity inevitably creates results. It doesn't matter if you had 0 results so far. If you're active, the math will eventually work out in your favor. So those are my few things I got to share with you. If you missed the message, put something in my calendar this week. I challenge each of you to put something in my calendar this week. And if we got to cancel it, we cancel it. Put it in there. Let's go for it. Let's do some work. You already beat last month's sales. Everything right now is just a cherry on top. If you don't have your product for free, let's help you go do that. If you're not a multiplier yet, let's help you go do that. If you're going for your pro bonus, let's do that. If you're going for your MVP bonus, let's go do that. If you're just trying to get moving, let's go do that. But let's do something. I appreciate you. I thank you. Let's go kick some ass. Steve and Ange, you're great leaders. And have a fantastic holiday. Much love to anyone that has lost anyone in the military for Memorial Day. Let's not forget what Memorial Day is for. It's not for hot dogs and cheeseburgers and Bud Light. It is in remembrance of losing the people that fought for our freedoms to be able to be entrepreneurs. So thank you to anyone out there that has a family member they've lost fighting for our freedoms. And Steve and Ange, back to you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much. You are
Have
the
a good
best.
weekend.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm going to go find my sleeves now, Steve.
Go do legs.
Awesome.
I love
well,
that.
you guys, we're going to go through a little bit of recognize our leaderboard. Ange and I have been committing to something every week on Saturdays of really taking a look at our leaderboard and recognizing and seeing where everyone's at, and diving into the team and kind of letting everybody know who's running for what. If you're close for pro, if you're close for MVP, if you're close for all-star, if you're close for MVP multiplier, or if you're close to just getting your business off the ground and going. So I would advise you guys to, if you are looking to take advantage of Nick working with our team directly, get a Zoom scheduled with us. We've opened this up to the team 2 weeks ago, and aside from a few of the runners that identified, as they wanted to run, I don't think anybody's done their own Zoom presentation yet. So if that's something that you want to do, get it in our calendar. I would ask you to reach out to Ange or I, because we've got to go through Noreen, who's Nick's secretary, to get them placed in the schedule. So instead of all the different inner workings of who brought who on and all that, just keep it simple, and we can get you guys scheduled, and then we'll work on who's going to be speaking in your presentation and all that once we get it booked. So if you guys are looking and that's something that you want to do, I would highly, highly suggest that get something scheduled on the calendar for next week, and we'll get it set up, and we'll get Nick on.
Yeah. So we're just going to take a couple more minutes of your time, because I know it's Memorial Day weekend. You guys have hot dogs and cheeseburgers and a keto-friendly diet that maybe you're following. Kidding. So let's just go over this so everybody knows where they're at. Congratulations to everybody who is on the leaderboard. Obviously, we posted it into
I'll read through it quickly. Kylie Jacobs at 10, also
Woo-hoo!
MVP multiplier for this number 6 time, you guys, 6 time MVP multiplier. That is
Follow
huge.
The leader.
April Farrow, she's got 4. Brandon and Sherry Ritz, 4. Katrina Smeltzer, 3. Adrian, 3. Woo woo! Trish Miranda, 3. Angel Frey, 3. Jenna Beck, 3. Shayna Thoman, 2. Alan Shaw, who's on the line, 2. Kelly and Todd Landis, 2. Rob, Michael, Trina's last name, Michael. I can't believe I don't even know how to say that properly. That's horrible. 1.
It's Mikkel. Right? Mikkel? That's how you pronounce it, like in phonics.
How do you pronounce it?
Like Nickel.
Okay.
So I've been noticing Rob's on there. So is he adding customers, or you're adding customers through his account?
His family, I'm adding to his account.
Oh,
cool.
Awesome. Okay. Angela Allen, 1. Emily Redding, 1. Tanis Yoakum, 1. Kimberly Kern, 1. Shannon Kurtzel, 1. And Lisa Steppard, 1.
So congratulations to everybody. If
Woo! Team is on fire.
Yes. Listen, if you've got 1, if you got 2, if you got 0, it is totally okay. That's why we're having this call, because we wanted to be able to pour into you, recognize everybody where they're at, and give you some tips on how you can get to where you want to be, your goals. So I would follow the formula that Nick has given to us. Number 1, set a date for your presentation. Number 2, invite to your presentation. Number 3, you're going to see results, because your activity is going to equal
you guys
results.
Plug us in. So do what Ange said, set your date, and set your date. We'll reverse back to it. and plug any of us in that you need to help with your messaging if you need that. If you're not seeing the results on the messages that you're getting out, then definitely plug us in so we can have an eye on what you're sending out. Because guys, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and hoping that you're going to get a different result, it's not going to happen. So plug us in, let us help with that. Let us help with getting another eye on what you're sending out, or maybe what people are sending back and you're not sure how to respond. Include us in that, because we could definitely help steer that conversation along. And I love that he touched on the kind of the post and pray thing. You guys, you can't post and pray. You're not going to build your business off of posting on social media. It's great for building your brand. It's great for attraction marketing, but you have to be doing business building activities each day to move your business forward each day. So, and that's literally having conversations with people.
And I know this because I was a post and prayer, like 100%. I did not want to sell to my friends. I did not want to message people. I just didn't want to be that person. So I know this from experience. People like to be invited. Think about it. A friend posts a party on their page and you were not personally invited. It you know, the day of the party comes, you didn't go, you thought you weren't invited. Like, you know, people aren't just going to watch your page and, you know, send you a message. People love to be invited. Kylie, I see you're not on right now, but are you on? Okay, when she comes back on, obviously, I think that she should definitely speak because.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. Listen, I know you're camping with the family, but obviously you are leading the leaderboard. This is like your space right here, girl. So if you want to go ahead and add, if I'm a person and I want to hit MVP multiplier, I'm running, I want to build my business, go.
Listen, MVP multiplier every month is building my business very deeply. It's not about really, I mean, it's about hitting it every month, but while you're doing it, you're building a lot of depth for that residual income. So I want to lead and have everybody, you know, see that it's attainable. And I keep going. I don't just stop at MVP multiplier. I hit it last week and I'm just still reaching out to my prospects. And although I've only done a few calls with Nick, personally, I am doing a lot of calls one-on-one. And I would say follow up, because in the beginning of this, when I started, I wasn't following up appropriately. Hey, did you see the video? Do you have any questions? I don't leave it to yes or no answers. I basically reach out and say, I know you're seeing my stories. I'm loving life. I love this freaking product. I'm obsessed. Please tell me you watched the video. What are your thoughts? So I'm listening to what their thoughts are. I'm not saying, hey, did you watch the video? Do you want to buy some? It's not my style. And I really think following up has helped me this month, especially leveraging this promotion. So I'm leveraging the promotion as an opportunity for them to see it. I used to only share my challenge link first. But this month I decided that the Prove It Now link has both options, and they're not going to see the other option unless they're asked. And usually that's my second step. Okay, you're interested in the 10-day, it's the tip of the arrow. Are you interested in maybe doing what I'm doing and finding success with? And now that's like skipping a step. Some people are like jumping on board and be like, wait a minute, I can make money with this? So it's asking the question a little bit for me ahead of time because they're being exposed to it. And like you said, more exposure to it. It's great in stories. It's great in posting. But unless you ask the questions, they're not going to, they might not even know. So I'm using the Prove It Now link more than the challenge link. So I guess that's one tip, is maybe kind of shift toward that direction so they have exposure during the sale to the 40% off. And then follow up. And then also just going back through and just making sure that people hopped on board for the right reasons. Like that they want to build their own business, not like, oh, well, she's been successful in this. I'm going to go do this because, you know, I want to follow the leader type thing. Yes, of course. But do they have their own goals? Do they have their own purpose? And if they don't, it's not going to work out, like he said. So it's whatever anybody wants to do. They can put, you know, minimal time out and get minimal out of it. They can put a lot of time in it, and I want to help them. So just finding out what people's purpose is important to me. So I had all these people sign up in the beginning who were ready to like rock and roll. And then they kind of went like silent. So I'm just following up and circling back around and diving, you know, deep in the team to help. So I'm excited about what this is doing. And I encourage you all to hop us, get on a call with us. Even if it's not with Nick at first, I'm available. So I have this Wednesday, I have 2 openings. Actually Tuesday also. So let me know. I'm more than willing to help anybody out.
I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kylie. You guys, I'll just wrap out quickly. Who is close still in case you're not following on hitting. I'll start with MVP multiplier. Sherry Ritz, Emily, Angel Frey, Kelly Landis, Adrian, Jenna, Trina, and Alan Shaw. All of you guys have numbers on the board. All of you guys, it is still attainable to hit MVP multiplier yet for the month. And then we'll go to MVP. Shayna Thoman, Katrina Smeltzer, and Amanda Stambaugh are all in the running for MVP yet this month. And Go Pro, April, Michelle, who's through Trish, and Sarah Pooler. Those are everybody that still has, they've got something on the board and they still have time. I didn't list everybody if they don't even have anything on the board yet. These are all people that have something on the board and that can attain each one of these 3 things, whether it's MVP multiplier, MVP, or pro. So that's all we really have for you guys, is just a little recognition. You guys are all doing great. Just take advantage of us. We're here for you. So don't think we're too busy or anything like that. We can't help you if we don't need that you need the help or not. And book for your Zoom. Have a safe holiday weekend and enjoy.
Yep. You guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's awesome.
Bye, everyone. I love our team. It's awesome. You're rocking it. Woo!
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.